Now, I don't personally know Troy Ave and Taxstone and shit like that. We weren't kicking it at the club. We're not best friends. We don't go back and forth and all that shit. I don't know these niggas like that. But I've been around these niggas long enough to fucking read their character, you know what I'm saying? Get an assessment of who you're fucking dealing with. And they got two different vibes going on, straight up and down, and I'm here to tell you that, you know what I'm saying? This nigga Troy Ave, he be frontin', man. He be acting real strange and shit. But I don't hold anything against him at the end of the day. I was over there on 4th Street, and I'm coming from playing ball and all that. My man went to get some Gatorades and some Phillies and shit. And I'm standing here, and I happen to fucking come across this little motherfucker leaning on the wall, and I'm like, why the fuck does this nigga got a mink on right now? It's like 95 degrees out this bitch. Who's this stupid motherfucker? So I start walking up a little bit more, and I don't really recognize the face, but when I start paying attention, I'm like, oh, this little nigga Troy Ave, little big head nigga over here. But he didn't have no fucking jewelry on, or Rolexes, or fucking Maybachs parked out front. This nigga was standing on the fucking corner of the wall where the dogs and the homeless niggas pissed, and he had his mink over there dragging his shit. So I look at the nigga, he looks at me, puts his head down, he's on the phone and all that. He's not too concerned about what's going on around him, but the nigga's frontin' hard body and shit, and he wants that attention. He wants to look like he's some Don Dada ass nigga, but he's trying to play it low key at the same time. So I peeped that and I'm like, whatever, I don't give a fuck about this nigga. Let's keep it pushing, go get our minds right and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And then shortly after that, you know what I'm saying, a couple months later, whatever the fuck it was, this nigga winds up getting into this shit with Taxstone in the motherfucking club. And I'm like, oh shit, that's that little nigga with the pissy mink and shit from 4th Street holding her down.
I don't have an issue with Troy Ave. I think his music is mediocre, and he tried to portray this image that he was making greater music than everybody in the city when he wasn't. You know, it was like a time when Bobby Shmurda was the hottest person in the city. He was trying to say he was the best, trying to take the, I was like, I had to be the person to interrupt that. So I just feel like he's like a fraud rapper. He never was a drug dealer. This dude is just weird. You know what I mean? So that's really it. It's no issues with Troy Ave.
If somebody, somebody on the streets to say, oh, Troy Ave is a snitch. He was snitching. That's why he's doing this.
You can't snitch on camera. Something that starts on the internet, you can't double back and say any street rules apply. And third, where's the paperwork at?
Okay.
Where? And fourth, how you going? You don't fight with hands behind your back. If somebody ratting on you for something that you really didn't do, what you supposed to say? Just hold it down? Anybody that would say that, they either a hater or they don't know how the court system work. And they ain't looking at nothing like the real honest truth. I didn't have to sit in jail for 2 months and lose out on millions of dollars.
I've been in his video shoots with Mano. This was last year, April, and I've been harassing him for 5 years. So he needs to stop it. He knows, it's some shit.
So now this shit doesn't make any sense to me at motherfucking all. You see Taxstone over here at Mano's video shooting shit like that, and you don't do a goddamn thing. You don't raise your hands, you don't raise your voice, you don't step to the nigga, you don't try to mediate the situation. Maybe it was too dangerous, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it was really gonna go down, and Troy Ave spared him that day. I don't motherfucking know. Maybe this nigga's Mother Teresa low-key and shit like that, powder to the people, right? Fuck out here. In my mind, I would have handled that shit right there. If I see you, I think you got a problem with me, or you want to step to me, or whatever the fuck it is. Let's handle this shit. You got a bunch of street niggas around right now. We could do the 5-minute dance, you know what I'm saying? And then leave shit where it's at, and maybe you'll change your behavior. Maybe I'll change my behavior. Who the fuck knows what goes down? But at the end of the day, let's address this shit right now. Why wait to get to the motherfucking club to try to pop some shit? And it's because this nigga Troy Ave, this nigga's all about clout chasing, this nigga's all about attention, and this nigga wants to put on this gangster motherfucking facade, but he wants the world to know and shit like that. He just don't want to handle his shit behind the scenes and let it be like that. He wants the whole world to see. He wants people to start trying to do a world star hip-hop situation, throw it up on their Instagram. He wants to be that nigga, and he wants to show off for all the other rappers in there that may be doubting his fucking gangster or whatever the fuck it is that he's bouted, you know what I'm saying? And I think in my mind, he thought he had the upper hand on Taxstone, because they wound up recovering 3 handguns from motherfucking Troy Ave's vehicle that he took to the hospital and shit. We're gonna break that article down, but you got 3 motherfuckers in a situation, and they find 3 motherfucking hammers. So did these 2 dudes have hammers, thinking they were gonna run down on motherfucking Taxstone? He flipped the situation? I don't think so. They probably had them joints outside and shit like that. But did they think that they would catch this nigga flipping, shake him up real fast, and if it came to it, they could just run outside and hold it down? So these niggas were on that extra shit. negative.com. That shit wind up going a different way. R.I.P. to Banger. That's a fucking unfortunate situation. Young man loses his life and shit. And I want to send my condolences to his family, to his friends, anybody that has some good times with Banger. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, nobody's a fucking angel. I'm not an angel, but people deserve respect. And the young man lost his life again in hip-hop with this gun violence and unfortunate situations that continue to escalate. And these OGs and different motherfuckers don't step in and say, hey, everybody chill the fuck out, let's fix this shit. But that's only in a fucking perfect world. Right now, as we speak, motherfuckers are getting ready to get it popping in this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers are losing their mind and hip-hop's at an all-time low. But that's for another fucking video. Let's get into this article and let's break it down. And for the record, that whole shit Troy Ave did over there on the Breakfast Club interview when he was talking about homeboys' moms and this and that, and he wanted to do a chariot ride through Brooklyn. Real disrespectful, man. That motherfucker was on one, and Troy Ave, man, he's just painting this picture like this is some fucking movie or some shit, like he's Tony Montana or something, like he's really eating it up. But let's get into this article, man. I think he's glorifying this shit in his own way, but trying to be low-key with it, you know what I'm saying? The gun Troy Ave allegedly fired last week during a deadly shooting at Irving Plaza was found inside a car he took to the hospital, and it matches the bullet that killed his friend, sources said. 3 guns were found stashed away in an inside compartment in the car, including the one that was used to kill Ronald McFadder, Troy Ave's bodyguard, sources said. Troy Ave, whose real name is Ronald Collins, was charged with attempted murder Monday after getting caught on surveillance video opening fire after leaving a backstage VIP room. McFadder is seen collapsing to the floor at the start of the footage. One theory is that Troy Ave accidentally shot McFadder during a brawl that broke out backstage, according to police. This is an old report, so there's various different stories, different people recollecting what really went down. Troy Ave's been speaking on it and shit like that, with the FBI arresting Taxstone and all that. So this is kind of old, just giving people context of what was going on initially. Shots were fired after Troy Ave got into a fight with a rap critic who was writing negative reviews about him, law enforcement sources said. Now, I brought up that article so we can get an idea as to why Troy Ave was initially arrested and denied bail, and why he had to sit in motherfucking jail for a few months, couple months, whatever the fuck it was at the end of the day. It's not because they arrested him and he wouldn't snitch on Taxstone. That might got a little part to do with it. It's really because you got caught with 3 hammers, motherfucker, and somebody's motherfucking dirt at the end of the day. Your best friend, bodyguard, you know what I'm saying? So who the fuck is gonna answer for this? Casper, the fucking friendly ghost or some shit? No, nigga, possession is 9/10 of the motherfucking law, and that's why you were initially denied bail. Then they started figuring out some things behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Some camera footage came out. So yeah, he's telling half the truth there, but he's trying to spin this shit on motherfuckers like, oh, I wasn't snitching, that's why I was locked up in jail. No, nigga, you was caught up on some shit and the cops had to figure things out. So tell the story the motherfucking right way. But he's like, oh, I'm not snitching, this is like this is like that. But if I'm not mistaken, Troy Ave filed a motherfucking lawsuit against Live Nation and motherfucking Irving Plaza. And from what I know about a goddamn lawsuit, somebody's gonna have to sit down for a deposition, and that somebody's gonna be motherfucking Troy Ave. So let's break down that article real quick and we'll come on back. Rapper Ronald Troy Ave Collins has filed a lawsuit against New York's Irving Plaza and its owner Live Nation following a May 25th shooting that took place at the venue during a T.I. concert. The rapper is seeking unspecified damages as well as legal fees. Collins was charged with attempted murder and criminal possession of a weapon in the incident, which ended in the shooting death of his friend and bodyguard Ronald Edgar McFadder. The rapper filed the suit in Brooklyn Supreme Court Monday, citing negligence on behalf of Irving Plaza. Now let's break down the discovery process in a lawsuit and all that. It might vary state to state, but this is a basic breakdown. In a lawsuit, all named parties have the right to conduct discovery, a formal investigation to find out more about the case. Pre-trial access to this information allows the parties to use facts and potential evidence to better define their strategies and avoid delays once the trial begins. In some cases, what's learned during the discovery might even help the opposing sides come to a settlement without having to go to trial at all. Discovery can come in a number of different forms, with the most common being subpoenas for relevant documents, interrogatories, and depositions, that taking of an oral statement of a witness before trial under oath. Answers to interrogatories, a deposition involving a living, breathing witness being asked questions about the case. The deposition has two purposes: to find out what the witness knows and to preserve the witness's testimony. I'm saying the intent is to allow the parties to learn all the facts before trial so that no one is surprised once the witness is on the stand. Okay, so somebody's gonna have to take the stand? Gotcha. Contrary to what countless movies and TV shows would have you believe, springing a surprise witness at the 11th hour of a trial is regarded as unfair. By the time a trial begins, the parties should know who all of the witnesses will be and what they are saying during testimony. A deposition is an opportunity for understanding the case better and not solely about getting favorable testimony. If, for example, a witness's version of events would undermine your case, that's something you'd need to know about long before trial, since the last thing you'd want is to be caught off guard by hearing damaging testimony for the first time when that witness takes the stand. The deposition is an opportunity for all sides to learn where the weak spots are in the respective cases, then prepare for ways to avoid or rebuke them at trial. Now, I'm not here to bash Troy Ave either, for all the Troy Ave fans out there, like, fuck this nigga, you know what I'm saying? Because it came out that Taxstone wound up writing some letter to the judge or some shit like that, asking for bail. And they're saying that he was pointing the finger at Troy Ave, like, that's the motherfucking bad guy, not me. I don't know if his lawyer told him to put the letter together a certain way. I don't know what the letter said exactly. I believe it's somewhere over there online or whatever the fuck. It's probably in the public, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I guess Troy Ave feels like, all right, since you saying these things about me, this shit started on the internet. All these street rules don't apply anymore, and I ain't snitching, motherfucker. But if I have to take the stand to fight for my life, he said it in the song, middle finger from the stern, motherfucker. So he's letting you know in so many words, when it comes down to it, that there's footage, he's probably gonna wind up having to speak up for himself, because he's gonna keep it gangster, and it had nothing to do with the streets. It's some internet shit, so you can't apply street rules to what happened over here. This shit happened in the streets, my man. Y'all niggas wasn't over here playing Tetris online, battling for subs or some shit like that. Y'all niggas was letting the blickies off of somebody or this person, whatever the fuck. So don't try to downplay this shit like it's something else at the end of the day. But Troy Ave is pumping this shit like, oh, I'm not sitting down to talk with this one about that one or whatever the fuck, but I will. That's why I bring up the lawsuit and shit like that, because somebody's gonna have to sit down for a deposition. And he's not only fighting for his life, there's money right here. If he can get like 20 million, 25 million, you never know out of these motherfuckers, that shit can set him up forever. No matter if he has to go to jail or fucking not for a little bit, for a long time, that's his fucking business, because that motherfucker was wildin' too. But at the end of the day, will Troy Ave sit up there in that deposition and say exactly what he has to say and slay this nigga Taxstone and shit like that to get the motherfucking money? I believe so. Because these corporate motherfuckers, they got banks, son. They're gonna get the best lawyers, private investigators, all types of shit behind the scenes. It's not like you just gonna sit there, like they said, and get favorable testimony. They gonna ask you the tough questions 4 different fucking ways, and you're gonna have to be on point, and they're gonna fucking put that testimony to the side, and that's what you're gonna have to stick with, motherfucker. So when you sit down, that shit gotta be on point, and what are you gonna tell these people? Oh, I was just hanging out and somebody did this and that. No, you're gonna have to tell the whole story. So is that snitching by default? That shit's gonna be testimony used in a motherfucking trial, and that nigga's gonna have to get up there and talk. That's what they're saying in the documents there, right? There's gonna be no surprises and shit. So is Troy Ave preparing to motherfucking sit down for that fucking lawsuit? And if he has to, like he's been saying, fuck it, I'll take the stand and I'll let you know what it is. If so, then just play this shit out on some normal shit. What's up with you showing up to court with the bulletproof vest? With that same mink. I told you, he was standing in the fucking corner with that mink on, that same shit. You got I cook crack hat or whatever the fuck he had on, and you're promoting and glorifying this shit like you're some drug czar now and shit like that, and you be getting it in the streets. It's a very unfortunate situation, and if I was him, I'd actually be playing this in a whole different fashion, you know what I'm saying? I'd be putting out some different type of music. I wouldn't be glorifying certain shit, and I would be keeping it real low key and trying to show the judge that this shit has changed my motherfucking life, put me on a different path. I'd be trying to get songs on motherfucking Billboard. I wouldn't be out here acting like I'm super rich, doing crazy interviews, talking wild about people's family, and like I said, man, just making this shit seem like it's a fucking movie. Like this is GTA 5, like this is normal shit, you know what I'm saying? I was keeping it real. What was he saying? Troy Ave's a performer. Oh, I didn't run. Well, tell the judge that shit when you're standing in front of him and shit like that, because you don't seem so so remorseful all the time. I remember back in the day when he was talking about the kid from Brooklyn, Joey Badass, his friend or whatever, committed suicide or some shit like that. Nigga said, well, only Trumps do this and do that. The nigga be saying some wild shit. So I hope he got all that shit to say to the judge at the end of the day. But I would understand if he takes the stand, because this ain't no street shit in his motherfucking mind, and Taxstone is already talking or writing fucking letters to the judges or whatever the fuck. So this shit is crazy right here. But what I want to stress is that this didn't even have to go that far. That's why I brought up this shit at the Mano video shoot. What if somebody, OG, whoever the fuck, would have just stepped in and said, yo, y'all niggas need to squash this shit. Get it dealt with. Would it have spilled over into the nightclub that night? I don't motherfucking know. I ain't saying that everybody's responsible for this or that. These are grown-ass motherfucking men. Leave this shit online. When you see each other in the streets, if it's an issue, let it be what it is and keep it pushing, man. Or handle your shit, knuckle up. But it doesn't need to go to the guns, to go to this. People losing lives. Motherfuckers locked up in the feds. You might be locked up for 20 years. And motherfuckers is out here acting like this shit is normal. This shit is cute. This shit is acceptable. This shit is really wrong at the end of the day. And motherfuckers need to speak on it. And it needs to stop sitting up here fronting like he's some big time drug dealer, or I ain't snitching, I ain't doing this, or I had to do it like that. Just stick to the script and say, man, this was some horrific shit, man, and I'm trying to move on with my life. What the fuck is all this extra bravado, man? But that's how I motherfucker feel about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Is Troy Ave out there doing what he's supposed to do right now, or is he flipping the fucking bird? Y'all let me know what's popping, and if you appreciate the content, get up in the description box and drop a donation. You know, drip, drip, drip fills the bucket. And other than that, I'm out this motherfucker. I'll see you soon. Be safe, be easy, be cool. Don't do anything stupid on the internet or in the streets. And I'm out. Peace.